of cool stuff. The reason I'm shouting out, not because we did a webinar together, but I got the highest ever conversion that I can think of in like 10 years. And when I say it was my customers, but it was Jeff's offer that he crafted. It had Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, 56% conversion rate of live callers to buyers on the initial call. I think it was 56%, you guys. It was truly, truly unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know how to tell you. All right. So 55%. All right. Jeff said I'll round up to 56. It was probably 55 and change. Cool. Audio good. Audio good. Okay. All right. So just a shout out to Jeff. What did he do right? Well, he took action one for sure, but more importantly, he tailored the offer to the target audience. He implemented one of the things that we did at the last Mastermind when we talked about cool stuff. I don't know if it was on the live call or in person, but we were talking about the 15-minute countdown timer. And I know a few other people have done it recently as well, and it's worked out well for them, you guys. So I'm very excited about that. So Matt we're going to go over the agenda for the live call today. We'll start with, we're going to share something cool, Matt and I. But what we want you guys to do is to let us know, what's working, what's not working, what have you done, where are you falling short, what did you maybe not get done in the past month that you should have got done. How can we help you? So it's really easy. Matt and I will share something for today's call. Then we want you to share 3 things. And we're going to bring you on live with the mic. What's working right now for you? What are you missing out on? Where are you breaking down? What do you need to do you haven't gotten done? Maybe you need a little accountability, kick in the pants. And then 3, of course, how can we help you? I know Matt's had a lot of good one-on-ones. I've talked to several of you. Hopefully I can catch up with more this month. So let's start with a share. I'm going to turn it over to Matt, and then I will go, and we're going to just share just some cool stuff. And then we're going to go around the room for the members that are live on the call. So very cool. We're seeing people come in. There's 1 or 2 more that just logged in. So welcome, everybody, and Matt.
Yeah, so just to let you guys know, here's some interesting things. Actually, let me go grab my phone. Well, and I wrote down some things. One thing from an email perspective, what I'm seeing is that here's an interesting thing, Brian, actually, too. And it kind of is a Brian conversation. But so everybody talks about give,
Yeah.
and reward people. The big thing is rewarding, like you can focus on rewarding people and giving people stuff. What I'm finding, and I literally just did a call a few minutes ago with my group where I was going over data. And here's the interesting thing. I'm finding not just focusing on reward, which everybody focuses on reward, but nobody focuses on punishment. And so what I'm finding is the more that I punish people, like say, hey, I'm taking this away. And the more you take things away, the more people are buying from me. So come from a place of reward and punishment. And think about, hey, we got to reward people, but we also got to punish people. And like rewards would be giving them bonuses like we were talking about at the Mastermind, doing things like that. That's a reward. But there's also the punishment. And hey, if you don't get on there, like you got to hold true to those punishments. And, as in, hey, if I'm going to take this down at a certain time, I take it down. Hey, and then reminding them and letting them know that, hey, I took this down. And therefore, the punishment is true. Like proving the punishment is true, that really happens. It is so much more powerful, and there's so much more money making. Now, there's an interesting thing, and I got my notes, and let me go find my phone. My wife walked in, and my phone went crazy. Went somewhere. And,
That
I don't know where to get.
does not sound good.
So hold on. Let me get my phone, and I plugged it in. That's fine. All right. So I was just in Portugal. And so as I was in Portugal and I was speaking, I saw some really cool stuff that people are doing. And one thing that is fascinating, and I'll tell you something that Chris Winters actually said, and I was doing this, but I didn't realize that he tested it. So I never tested this. Brian thought it was crazy. His staff thought it was crazy when we did a webinar because I actually went straight to the shopping cart.
Yes.
And everybody's like, well, don't you have like a description? Don't you have all this stuff? I went straight to the shopping cart. So I really did that because I was being lazy. I didn't have time to go in there and to adjust it. And, you go to these order forms on webinars. And I literally, I just was like, well, screw it. The fastest thing I could do, especially with Infusion, was just get an, shopping cart link and you go there. There's nothing there. It's just, it has the order information and that's it. They click the button, they go. So I did that and it's always worked. And I never had any, a lot of people go in, they put testimonials, they go put descriptions, they go do all that stuff. Interesting enough, I've always done it because I was lazy lately. And my team was like, Matt, you got to build this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Well, while I was in Portugal, Chris Winter spoke about how he did like $6 million on webinars last year. And he said, we tested order forms and we discovered that order form going straight to the shopping cart outsold putting up a thing with testimonials and all this other stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, I accidentally fell into that one. But so interesting enough on that. And here's the interesting thing too. And I wrote down two things that I'm literally looking at my phone and I wrote these down. October 31st at 3:29 a.m. What day was that? Is that today, actually? So that's today. But actually, I did it a couple of days ago because I don't know why it's doing that. But here's the one thing I wrote down. I didn't write this down today. I wrote this down. That's this moment. So, but I wrote this down in Portugal. And these are two things I wrote down I thought was really powerful just to share. And I wrote it down. I did a walk with my wife today. And we walked and we talked about this one concept. Learn to fall in love with the struggles. And I thought that was really cool. And Chris said this in his presentation, and I don't take notes. I don't actually pay attention to people, but I do respect Chris. He buys my stuff. I buy his stuff. But when he spoke those words, I was like, learn to fall in love with the struggle. And I was like, that shit, like we've got to
like what you're doing.
Yeah. It's like, he goes, learn to fall in love with struggles. Now, another thing he said, and it's not on this, and I'll give you two more. Another thing, one thing he said was, and I thought this was really cool. So I went up and I presented. I outsold everybody at the seminar, okay? Chris bought my product. So he's up next, and he goes, folks, how many of you guys did not buy Matt's product? You're an idiot, pretty much, from the stage. And I was like, oh, this is cool, because I was still in the room watching him. And he's the cool thing is there's nothing to see except, and that's not Spider-Man. That is somebody else. But the point is, he said something that was really cool. And he goes, and I want you guys to think of this because this is why his webinars sell very well. He said to everybody in the audience, he said, I bet when you watched Matt present, you looked at it as, how am I going to lose? And he goes, I want everybody sitting here that's listening in the future, when you listen, ask yourself, how am I going to win? And coming from the perspective of I'm building to win and building to win. And he goes, I want you to think about when you're writing and crafting your presentation, everybody that sit in the audience is looking for, how am I going to lose? I craft my presentations for how are you going to win? And so everybody's going to win. So what he talks about, and it was interesting when he said that, he goes, when I bought Matt's, I knew I just needed to get one golden nugget and I would win. It's going to increase my business. So that's a important point that I just want to make from people is, think about that. And here's how he does it in his presentation because he broke it down and showed us how he was doing it. So when he first starts off, this is fucking good. So when he first starts off, he literally goes in and he shows a slide. He goes, listen, I'm going to be taking questions live. I have this person. He shows that person, the person that's going to be there, whatever it's Sarah or whoever is going to be taking the Q&A. He goes, the number one thing that increases our conversion is the fact that we have live support that's on the call. He goes, I guarantee if I tell you one thing, the one thing is going to be live support. He said the next thing that, the other thing is live support. He goes, but here's the real sticker, the real key about this. He goes, we show him a picture at the beginning of who's going to be answering all the questions. He goes, at the end, he goes, look, if you have not succeeded, it's not because you did something wrong. The reason you didn't succeed is because you didn't have a team. And so what he does is he goes, well, you've already met one of my team. Let me show the rest of the team. And us as a team will get together and show you and literally show you and help you make it happen. So my point is that he actually showed all those pictures of all the people on his team. And he goes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to come together as a team and help you. And so he knows that everybody's looking. He goes, that now with that, you are positioned to win because you have everybody on your team to do it. And it was like pretty cool. And actually yesterday, Brian and I were talking, and I said, look, I said a quote that I heard. It was, you can go far, you can go far.
Oh yes.
You can go far alone. You go
faster by yourself,
farther
with the team,
further with the team.
Think about it for a minute. When he said it to me, I was like, oh man, he's so right.
Yeah.
How many times have you said, I don't want to work with partners, or I don't want to do this with my team. I'm just going to get it done myself. You're going to get it done faster for sure.
But you're going
to get way more done, way better, farther, if you will, by working with the team.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool to share with you that. And then here's the other one that I wrote down, and I was talking to my wife about that whole concept. But always position yourself, and everybody think about that. The people that are listening to you are looking for reasons why they're looking for, whatever. You need to put it, so how is everybody going to win, not how are they going to lose. So that's the position they're coming from. You just got to build your craft presentation to do that, which really made me think. Here's another thing that I wrote down the other day for myself, and I'm just sharing with you, is this is hilarious. I heard somebody say this, maybe I was watching a Netflix thing. It says, if you want to get out of a hole, put down the shovel. And I was just like, damn, I love it. So
think about it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. And I just want to share with you guys those things, from there. So that's a big share.
Okay. So guys, I have one that I got reminded of. This is me, Brian. I got reminded of psychology, right? And I know this, but I can't tell you how many times I make the mistake. And those of you that are doing online marketing will get it. I use some elements of psychology, but not all the elements I should use. So for instance, I just did a promotion to my internet marketing list, selling a product that I already sold to them 5 months before. And I'd done about 26, 27 webinars to in a similar audience. They've been exposed and saturated to it pretty good, right? So I said, all right, how do I relaunch this? How do I redo it? So I put in scarcity of time. I really played up the scarcity. I packed a little bit more value. I added a little bit more, but I said I was real strict on time, right? It isn't going to be available, this special package, forever. And I said there was only, how many did I say? 100 copies, right? Ready for this? So I did that, and I used the countdown timer. None of this is rocket science, but I will tell you there are many times that I do none of these or only one of these. You know how it is. You're just trying to take action and get stuff done, and sometimes you leave stuff out, right? So I sold 98 to my list that had already bought massively 5 months before, and it had been around the JV circuit pretty good. Sold 98 copies at $500. You know why? Fear of missing out, right? There's only X amount of time left. And I mean it. I took it down, and I'm not selling it to anybody else. Punishment, to Matt's point. Quantity, there's only 100 copies available. And I moved that bad boy down. I'll have to find the emails. I'll put them in there. I moved it down every single email. And then 2 days out, I put a live timer on the page. None of this is rocket science. However, there are many times when I forget to do some of these things. And I did it, and it worked gangbusters, you guys, just like it always does. Unbelievable. So I would encourage all of you, especially like Jack and Jeff Smith, others that are selling via email or webinar right now. Dwayne, probably you as well, but I'd like to hear a little more. Anybody using email, webinar, anywhere you can employ this psychology, no matter what you're doing, you can employ it, but this is the easiest no-brainer ever.
Lil, for your Facebook ads, I'm going to tell you, like, that's what I was saying on the call, is utilizing this. Like she has, we'll get into it, but she has a bunch of stuff that she's got like inventory. And I was like, dude, sell inventory by how much you got, closeout sale, boom.
Oh
go.
yeah. That just plain works. Never understand why, but man, it works like gangbusters. So you guys, I'm going to write on the screen. So I did a 15-minute counter like we talked about before on the call live. I think I ended up converting 27%. Not as good as I did the first time, not as good as some other JVs. But remember, my list had already seen this. And a lot of the people on the call had already bought. They were just there again, just to hang out, I think. So that worked well. Then, where's my button? I also did, you guys. I'm such a, okay. I used 2 testimonials last time. This time I used 5. They're real. I just took them out of Facebook. I just did a quick copy paste, like a camera snapshot, slapped them in there because everybody wants the same thing. The goal is the same. And if I continue to play up that testimonial, I guarantee by increasing reliance on the testimonials and results, I can promote this again in 3 to 6 months and sell another 50 or 100 copies. So at $500, I mean, it was an easy $50,000 that took me 2 hours of work, literally 2 hours plus a few emails that I scheduled. So this is just, I'm not reinventing the wheel here, but I'm trying to practice what I preach and put it into play. And I'm doing a launch right now, low ticket. If you guys want it, I'm happy to give you guys access. Let me show you something really fast, and I'm going to show you practicing what I preach. Well, I might do it. Hang on. All right. So it's snapchatunfiltered.com/now. So you go here. I think you see my screen. Hey, it's Brian. I'm sitting here doing some work.
Don't play video.
I thought I'd put a quick video together. Something we've been. Okay, you see it now. Matt fixed it for me. Awesome. Nope. Go forward. Come back.
Good thing that's my daughter's computer.
Yeah, right. All right. So yeah, you guys. So I was looking at, it's not formatting right here. So I'm getting ready to put a countdown timer on this for the final couple days. This is a snap. Brian, I'm sitting here doing some work. I got the video wanting to play a lot. I won't scroll anymore.
Okay, never mind.
So this is a training that I had some 15-year-old autoplay, 15-year-old interns work on this summer. And then we built the training out of what they were doing for clients. It's like a $67 product, which on the Warrior Forum or something would be 17, but I just don't sell anything for 17. So I just made it 67. But what I'm going to do is we're only selling 200 copies. We've been doing it in email. I need to make sure that's on the page. So it's missing right now. But what I like to do is I start slow and then I layer in the scarcity. So I'm going to add the number of copies to this today. Then tomorrow I'm going to put a countdown timer on it with how much time's left. And then I may even do a price increase one day before I close it, some kind of price raise. And I promise you, what it does is it creates logical points where people have to buy before something negative happens, just like Matt said. So if they don't buy by X, they're going to pay more. If they don't buy by Y, they won't get it, because I am going to actually sell the product for $297. But I wanted to do something special for my customers and making it super cheap because it wasn't really about the money. Matter of fact, I'm giving the money to the 2 kids that worked on the project. So super cool, but I want to show it to you, and I'll document it with number of sales and days and when I put on each of the triggers and then what happened as a result, and I'll share it out because I think it's a useful thing to see, you guys. Cool. All right. I don't want to hog any time. So I think what we want to do is we want to ask each of you that has a mic to come live. We'll just go into the,
or you can write it out or talk.
yeah, if you'd
However
rather
you feel
write it out,
comfortable.
or if you're able to speak, either one. We'll just go into the attendees list and we'll grab names that are there. Yep, there we go. All right, you guys, let's see
So
who.
raise your hand if you want to speak up. I mean, what we want to do is, hey, what's working right now? I mean, if you want to, or hell, if you just really want to, just like what, if you need a kick in the pants, that's fine. We understand that. But really, what do you need help with is really the real agenda here is what can we help you with? So do we?
Let's see who that was. I got to change the order. They're out of sorts. Here we go. I was like, wait a minute.
If you want to jump in here, we'll be glad to. If you don't, we're not going to force you guys to. When we go to the meetings, we will force you guys to talk. Of course, but yeah. So Jeff's ready. If you don't want to go, that's fine. But we will take people. We got some hands raising, so we'll go you. So Jeff, we're going to open you up right now.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So Brian and I had a great webinar. We basically took LinkedIn and customized it to generate leads for Quantum Chat. We did run the 15-minute timer. It worked like a charm. I've used it on 3 other webinars and sold 33% on one, 20% on another. This was for my done for you lead generation. And all the sales occurred in 15 minutes. And
Well, what you did is you got buyers that they didn't want to miss out on that negative consequence that Matt spoke about.
Yep.
So no, that was perfect. And Jeff, the call we did where you presented was the highest converting webinar I've ever done that I can think of in the last 10 years. It wasn't a giant list because it was only sold to members of one product, but we had like 100, 110 on the call and live and like 50 something bought, right?
Yeah, it was 55 of the, I think it's like 111 were on at the offer. One of the things we did a twist. So Brian told us, hey, I took the fast action bonus out. I took the 15 minutes out of the live call when I sent out the replay because it was only available if you're on the live call. So what I did is I set up a replay page that only had the video on it, and then the button on it basically had some text and said, you can watch this webinar as many times as you want. But when you click this button and go to the buy page, you have 15 minutes to purchase in order to get the fast action bonus you see in the webinar. And we sold another 55 plus. They're still coming in from that twist. So we were able to keep the fast action bonus as is. I didn't have to edit the webinar. And we still used the 15-minute timer scarcity because it was cookied. And I said, when you go to that page, you got 15 minutes. You can't stop. You can't come back. The timer doesn't stop.
Yeah, no, awesome. So Jeff, I know that worked pretty well for me and you, and you've used it. Anything from an accountability or anything you need, kick in the pants? I don't really think that's you at all, by the way, but or anything you need right now in the interim from Matt or me or whomever.
Anything we can help you with?
Yeah, anything you can, I guess, help you with in any way.
Sure. More done for you webinars. They performed quite well.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, let me start with that. Let me answer that question. Jack, you and Jeff would make a bunch of money together. It would be an easy $25,000 to $50,000 call for you guys, if not more. Matter of fact, depending on how broad you go, it could be a lot more. So I will refer you. Jeff, is there any way you can give me a screenshot of the amount of sales on the call and I can show how many people were live?
Yeah, we'll do.
If you get me that, I will take those 2 pictures and I will message 10 or 20 JV friends that I think it would fit. And I'll try to see if I can tee them up because the combination of tailored specific offer like that for a custom list just destroyed it.
Excellent. I'll get that done.
I think that's what I would need just, because everything's noise and it's all BS. But if you show pictures, it makes sense, I think.
Yeah. And I just a shout out. I ran a webinar for Lee Goff yesterday.
Lee's not here. I don't think he's here. Hang on, let me look. He's not here.
We closed over 20% on a $697 one-time offer.
Sure.
Nice. He sent me a message about it and said you guys used the countdown timer and it went really well is what he said.
It did. And Bruce's certifications is vacation certification. So I know we don't have a lot of time. That's what I need, more webinars. I've got 6 other products I'm working on, but we'll talk about those later.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then I'll look at my calendar because yours is right up mine. So I'm booked up until January on it, like crazy enough.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, he needs
but
to ramp up
I'll
to
figure
run
out how
this
we
'cause he
can
has to tailor it to you.
Yeah, but we'll figure something out too because I'll be able to get you to run.
Very good.
Awesome.
Cool.
So who is next? I know Jeff, Dwayne. Who else? We got Dwayne we're going to bring. Dwayne, can you go live or do you type? Let me make sure. Who else can go live or type? Dave
Charles
and Dave. Let's see. We'll just see what you guys say. Live is fine. All right, Dwayne, hang on one sec. I stole Matt's computer, so hang on. You know how when it's not your computer?
Well, and it's not a Mac.
It's not a Mac. Dude, you better hit the buttons. I'm trying to hit the button like a Mac.
All right.
Hey, Dwayne, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound good, man. How are you?
I'm just fucking peachy.
All
Life,
right,
life
I got to ask, everybody in the audience wants to ask too, tell us what happened with the guys. I know this is not part of the call, but everybody's probably dying to know, dude. What did you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wanted to know what with the what?
Remember when you spoke at the live mastermind and you were going to go back and make some changes to the staff, the one guy, and you were digging
I'll tell
deep.
you exactly what happened with that.
Yeah, really fast because we don't have a lot of time, but I know everybody wants to know. It's
Exactly.
come up a few times.
I basically had the come to Jesus meeting with him, and he said, look, I will do anything for you guys, except I can't get on the phone. I can't talk to customers. It's just not me. It scares the hell out of me. Please don't make me do it because I just can't do it. So I'm like, okay, so this really blows, but what can we do? Well, the interesting thing is that, and this kind of goes out of order of what I was going to talk about, but we had our building up for sale. And as of last Friday, we have an offer for the building, and it looks like it's a pretty solid offer. It's about 3 or 4% less than what we wanted, and we're kind of doing the haggling back and forth. Yeah. But now we're like, oh, shit, because they want to close by December 1st, so in like 30 days. Yeah. And we've been in our building now for 12 years, and it's 7,200 square feet of total space that's just packed floor to ceiling with stuff. So Oscar, the Come to Jesus meeting guy, literally has been going through there every day from top to bottom, getting stuff out. So I was there Sunday morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning because I get up really early. And I was there, and at like 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm ready to leave and take Annette to breakfast. And I'm driving past a smaller space in our industrial complex, and I see this woman sitting there who I hadn't seen in a long time. I thought, well, fuck, I'm not going to say hi to her. And then I'm like, well, you know what? You haven't seen her in a while. Go talk to her. So I said, how's it going? She's like, it's terrible. My husband wants to divorce me. He hates me, and I have to break my lease. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, how much space do you have? And she's like, I got 1,600 square feet. Well, now that we've really gone through everything, we know we could survive in like 1,000 square feet just to keep the business going long enough that for the people who might be interested, we still are answering the phones and we're still able to ship orders. And I'm like, well, what's your lease? And she goes, it literally is like another 11 months. And I'm like, how much per month? She goes, $900. I'm like, really? She goes, let me show you the space. So she's showing me the space and stuff. She goes, I just have to get a job. And I'm like, well, what kind of job are you thinking of? And she goes, telemarketing. I'm like, oh
my God,
really? And I'm like, what the hell? How does this shit work? So I'm like, well, what kind of telemarketing? She goes, I don't care. And she's from the Ukraine. So she's got a balls to the wall attitude about stuff. She goes, all I need to do is have somebody put me on the phone and I will call all day, all night. She goes, I said, really? How much money are you looking for? She goes, I already know. I know to the penny what I need per month to exist. And I'm like, how much is that? She goes, it's like $2,000. I'm like, okay. So I said, have you ever thought about working with us in any fashion? Because we have talked to her before. And she goes, you know, it's interesting because I've thought of coming your way, but I just really, really like the space that I'm in. I'm like, well, you could work from home and stuff. She goes, no, I like this little space that I'm in. She goes, if I could have like 20 feet square, so like 400 square feet out of that 1,600 square feet, I could still run my eBay online diaper business, which she's been doing for like 3 years. And if I could have a phone line, it would be fantastic. And I'm like, interesting, huh? So I come home and I tell Annette the whole thing. She's like, drive back over there right now. She goes, make sure that the space is, truly available and stuff. And so it looks like we're going to end up in that space. We're still just sort of in limbo, though, about exactly when this would take place. But even the guys that made the offer on the building, they're flexible. They're like, look, if you need to leave stuff in our space, we're not going to move in completely on December 1st. You could have like a corner of the warehouse and slowly but surely move your stuff out of there. So
No,
that
wait a
looks
minute. How
like,
much money do you save on the space? What's your, besides the money you make selling the building, what's the difference on your payment to your new lease payment potentially?
the thing is that even with the building that we have right now, we've got the equivalent of like an HOA fee. We've got the taxes that go along with the building. We would be about $3,000 every month to the good, just on moving, out of our building and getting.
Out of the 3 guys you had, did you decide that any of them could go, or did you need to?
Yeah,
keep
we
them?
did. We did. We basically went to them and said, look, it's no surprise. We're slow. We're thinking of selling the building. And all of them were like, okay. It's like, call us if you need some help part-time, because we'll go on unemployment, which I'm like, there's real motivation for you.
So 2 of your 3, so you dropped 2 employees and the expensive building?
Well, it looks like the expensive building is going to be gone. But yeah, 2 of the 3 employees are basically no longer in the mix. So, and then one thing though, because obviously Annette and I are old farts, so the one thing that we hadn't really considered is, what are we paying right now for insurance for us, and how much is it going to cost? Because we had an employee leasing deal where we had all these people under one umbrella, so we got much better insurance rates. The minute that we drop under 4 people full time, we now have to go on this different plan, and our insurance just for us, even in this group that's like 10,000 people collectively, it'll be like $2,000 a month for our insurance, and we're healthy. I mean, so it's like, holy crap. So, give and take, but nevertheless, we're still better off than we would have been. So with that being said about the building and, getting that shit out of the way.
I know a lot, people have asked me, Dwayne, and man, it sounds like it's moving in the right direction. It really does.
It really is. I mean, and in fact, when Matt was talking about, really sort of embrace the struggles, being sort of quote unquote fat and happy for a long time and not really having, like a fire in front of your face, which we've experienced, you work with it. And all of a sudden now these other things that are sort of coming together are kind of now like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. If we have to move in 30 days, that just means we're 30 days closer to being where we really wanted to be. Somebody sort of pushing us in that direction, as opposed to us just saying, well, someday we'll maybe move. We've got the building up for sale. So it really is sort of pushing us that direction.
Let me stop you, and I don't want to be rude or anything, but let me go, because that's probably what's working now. Sounds like things are coming together. Yep. What about let's speak specifically on how we can help you, because I want to get to that, and I got a little countdown timer here. That's all.
Okay, great. That's fine. And then that really is the thing, is that the email that I sent out per Matt's suggestion, which really was cool because once again, it got us speaking to people and thinking about stuff. There really were very few gung-ho people saying, yeah, Dwayne, Annette, we really want you to help us with our internet marketing stuff. That's okay. We don't care. Because what it really did was it made us think more and more with the few people really that we got into it with to discuss this stuff. It made us realize that we're definitely going in the right direction. We are just done with the toner biz. We got to do everything we can to get out of that. But what happened was, since I was, as if you remember, talking about reputation management and stuff, I couldn't make various reputation management platforms work to save my life properly. And I, bought Hershey's stuff from you, and I won't go into the details with that. And I've sent them like 5 tech support requests directly to Jeff and to Zach. And I'm not just pounding on them. I'm just saying this is one thing we face. They didn't even respond. And I'm like, well, what the hell? So, okay, be that as it may.
Well, I can take care of that for you if you want.
No, don't. That's okay. No, I appreciate that offer, but you know what? It's okay. I found something else that I think will work just fine, so no big deal. So with that said, though, what it did make us realize is, as I think you might have seen that I posted the other day, Annette was saying, okay, wait, Brian's talking about bots. He's really big on bots. Why the hell are you wasting your time with, with reputation? I'm like, because it is a nice little adjunct. If I lead with rep or if I lead with bots, I can still then have another sale of some sort under that same sort of umbrella. So I still like that idea. And everybody, I think, obviously understands, having better, Google reviews or whatever is better than not. But with that being said, I haven't made any movement in the bot area at all. And that's just my fault with all this other stuff, that's going on. Getting the building sold will be a huge, weight off our backs. The other thing, though, kind of in only concert with this, backing up for 1 second, it really, at this point, I don't think there's a lot that anybody can do to help us move forward with all the, balls we've got juggled in the air. But one thing that did happen is that I had two industry magazines that I was aware of, obviously still in the toner industry, the last two that are remaining, and I thought, well, I'll tell them my story. Here's our 31-year-old story. We're thinking of retiring. Would you consider featuring us as an article in your magazine so we can get exposure to the people out there who are still in the business? Both of them said absolutely, and both of them want to feature us, maybe not on the cover, but then what they'll do behind the scenes is they'll also act on our behalf to talk to people that they know that are actively buying toner businesses and toner customer lists and stuff to this day. So, I would like to be
It sounds like a lot of lemonade to me, Dwayne. Very good.
Well, it really, I'm pretty friggin' happy. So, and the one thing that you guys did say about, how far can you get on your own versus with a team? I can't wait to have a team of people that now are going to be with us again, sort of like we had in the heyday of toner, because it really did blow shit up for us when we had people that were doing the work as opposed to just me and Annette. But every, one step at a time. So we're making progress.
That's awesome.
Man, phenomenal. All right, I'm gonna mute you. Actually, I'm gonna let Matt do it. It's his computer, and I don't know how to push the buttons. And hey, Jack, we're gonna unmute you next. Jack Hopman, give us 1 sec.
All right, and Jack.
Hello.
Unmuted.
Hello,
Jack, can you hear
everybody.
us?
So
Hello.
let me give you a quick update. So I worked on Sand Eagle. So Sand Eagle is an email platform and more, but I position now as an email platform to get some traction on it. Have now 300 members. I did 2 weekend promotions, do weekly training on it. So that's rolling. The next thing, I finishing up an AdWords Academy training. So I did 7 training sessions and 3 more to go. And this was 3 Sundays, and that finished up that. And we had a call with Brian and with Matt, and I'm working. So that's on the to-do list. It's the email series for new domain buyers and find out debate what they are willing to buy. So creating also a sales page for a free website with a hosting platform. So it's kind of what I feel is kind of a lot of brainstorm, but not a lot of meat at this point. So
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I love you've always been an action taker since the day I met you, but the launch of your email platform sounds like it's, a 10 out of 10 so far. And I know you've got the other thing working on the domain stuff. So,
Oh, and just so you know too, simple, clean shopping cart, not dressed up is the answer that you were looking for.
Okay.
I saw it pulled up underneath you. So that is the answer that I found. And let me actually give you, so I'll use, let's see, show screen. Let me just show you guys how ugly, because he did ask that question. So Troy, let's go email marketingfirecracker.com. Let's just did one yesterday. Rockstar. So this is like yesterday.
you do plural words.
This is the actual page. Like, this is it. There's nothing. I mean, just to pull it up, there is nothing. Like, just so you guys see, like, when I say shopping cart order, this is it.
So wait a minute, just so everybody
no
understands,
testimonials,
from the
no-
buy button in a webinar right to that page.
That is the link for the call to action link.
Nice.
Go to, and then it just redirects to this. This is it.
So how did that convert?
Converts really good. Is just going straight to this on an order form on a webinar. So you asked, is it super? When I say clean, simple shopping, you said clean, simple shopping cart, or dressed up like a shopping cart with testimonials. This is it. Clean, simple, nothing.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so that's good to know. I have bought version, but I never tested it. So
Yeah, and I think what it is, and this is what what's his name and we both came to the conclusion. We talked about it later, and we just think it undistracts everybody. There should be no other distraction. They already got the credit card out. We've already sold them on the call. There's no other. We don't need to. It takes away from the sale.
Don't give them more stuff.
You already sold them on the webinar, so now there's no other. Your only choice is what credit card do I use? That should be the only choice they have when they go to the order form.
okay.
Like that. Okay. Yeah, that's. I'm glad
So
you asked that.
Brian, did you check with your brother if he would be engaged or interested in doing email marketing for his business?
Yeah, so I asked him, and he said yes, but this is real. Yes, but he goes, dude, I only have blah 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 emails. He goes, I have 5,800 customers, and out of the 5,800, I have like 900 emails. So almost everybody, when his people go out on the job, they get name, address, and phone number. And he goes, I've been telling them, you got to get email, and he gets all angry about it. These are probably all ones I've gotten. And he said, I could fire them, but it's so hard to find people. So I talked to him about, would you pay for a done for you? And I said, hey, I'll do it. I'm not even going to charge you. Look, I just want to know, would you pay, though, for email marketing to your customers designed to generate results, back-end marketing to generate results? He said, what do I have to do? I said, nothing. You got to provide the emails and give the thumbs up that the messages are okay, and then let them go. He said, yeah, if I don't have to do it. It really came down to how hands-free it was for him. And then he wanted to know how much it was.
Okay.
It sounds like, and I'm just going to say this, and this is totally off the wall, but what it sounds like, because I've ran into a bunch of local businesses that say the same thing, it sounds like, man, if you handed, I'm thinking from both your perspectives, one of the problems he has is his sales guys, and everybody says this, their sales guys are not collecting the data on your
They're
side,
lazy, right? Yeah.
because then now you can't do with it. Sounds like what they just need is a freaking app they put on their phone, and then it just collects all the data. You send them into the database, which will be going to Sendingo or whatever, and now you got them all. If you provided something like that where he gives them to his sales guys, and it's like it form fill, boom, got their phone number, got this, got
Well,
their
he's changing to some new CRM or management software for the business, and it has an app, and you have to fill email out to go to the next screen.
Yeah, because they have to. That sounds like it's a big problem. I mean,
So yeah, no, it's definitely a big problem, like for any of them that I talk to. So
Yeah.
I do think it would work, and if you had pre-done campaigns and templates, and you sold that in the local space to like direct to AC or direct to painters, whatever the business is, none of them are doing it now. And if it was somewhat affordable, and then you tied them into a recurring on both the email and the hosting, dude, you may be able to get a double sign up on them, Jack, for your done for you website. If you wanted to even go as far as the website and email, or you just do email, and if they're in a certain niche, for the X fee in certain amount of numbers, certain amount of email addresses, they pay, they get the campaigns that are ready to go. I think you could do it.
Yeah, the email is kind of a little bit more work, I think, because they need to get customized to the offer they want to provide. So it's not a template, I think. The hosting is kind of more simple.
Yeah, hosting is definitely easier. No,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. So what else?
Yeah, I think
So-
I need help with reviewing the website, the sales page when it's ready. I need help with kind of the websites of the emails will need to get crafted to send them to the sales page. And then once we have
Now
that,
you're speaking about the hosting, or you're speaking about the email?
yeah, now I kind of liked Matt response, like we have, because those new domain buys is not 100% sure they like the offer for hosting, so we're going to try it out, and then change out the bait. So we have to create for different baits and different sales baits and different email series.
Got it.
So if I can get some feedback on one, I create something and you comment on it, that would be good. So
Yeah, if you create something and put it inside the group, that's a great. I mean, that'd be great. I mean,
I think it'll help other people too. It's a good idea.
And if you do that, what I typically do, and this is one thing. So when you have something like this, especially marketing copy, or anybody's got any marketing, this is for everybody. You got any marketing copy and stuff like that. If you place it inside the Facebook group, because it is a private group, nobody will see it. What I'll do is I'll look at it. Instead of me typing out, I'll just create a Jing video and I actually go over it that way, and I'll just post in there so everybody can get the benefit of what. So if you do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sand Eagle actually runs well, so there's a lot of time go into that. You of course know you get users feedback and all kind of things, and every Tuesday I do another training about another section, other module, just to bring it on a high level, and then it's ready for a bigger launch. So I have just launched to my group, but that in a couple of weeks it is ready for a bigger launch.
Nice.
Dude, way to go. I mean, it looks like a home run from what I've seen. I also bought it. Jeff, you might want to look at it. Jeff Smith. It looks like a good tool. Dave, same as you. Worth looking at. Just the split testing capabilities alone.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I use it by myself, so it's not that I sell a product and I like the idea, but I use it a lot. So I send about one email per day to my list, and I see exactly what's going on. I split every time, and use that result in the next email or a similar email. So I have several products, and each product I can tag what the product is about. So if I want to do let's say, Brian, you said I did it 5 months ago, I can just filter on that tag and see all the emails I used before, and just update a little bit and resend them. So
man, I like it.
And then because you did split
I think
testing before, you know also what works the best at that time, and use that as a starting point to do a new campaign. So every time you get better and better.
And just as a takeaway, when you sell this thing, I would sell your deliverability and open rate, the ability to send, with Amazon. I would sell that split test feature. I mean, this thing, you could even make a chart where you compare against super expensive products and show how you stack up, from an email standpoint.
Yeah, I'm convinced if I had used Sand Eagle from the beginning for my email marketing, I would make twice as much money as I do now, because I see double improvements. The funny thing is I look at other marketers' email and I see what they use, and I split test them, and then I see exactly what works. So I kind of smiling to the other marketers which are using certain things but doesn't work, but they don't track, they don't split test.
Oh yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too, just real quick on all your split tests. I take my winning subject lines, stuff like that, and turn them in. Is my winning subject lines turn into my winning? Actually, funny thing, winning headlines on my opt-in pages, on my
I do the same.
Even the same thing. Yeah, and even the same thing with the name. I just got an email from myself like, "Hey, big money from Simple Websites confirmation." So even for my name of my webinars are named after my subject lines.
Yeah, I do the same. So I Tuesday I have also a webinar. I send in the morning an email, and after an hour I going to see what subject line works kind of the best. So I quickly change the subject line of the webinar sign up, and then 2 hours before the webinar starts I do a reminder, and I use kind of the subject line what works for that, and then that subject line what was the winner will be kind of the main topic on the webinar. So now I know what they are most interested in.
That's awesome.
And then I send a replay, and of course that will be with the winner subject line. And I still make some changes because it doesn't mean that the winning subject line is the best. So it's always the best. So now I use that as an idea, but smaller changes to that. So let's say best email platform, or I say best email platform in a few clicks. So now I'm going to test that out. Huh? So I make then
Nice.
the next round I make smaller changes.
I love it.
So and that becomes kind of my library for the future, because I know which subject lines converts the best. So that's all because I used to go to get response, and they have split testing, but the interface is not so easy. Right. So you can all do that in other tools, of most tools, but they don't have not a simple plus sign where you see the results. So it takes.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. I gotta cut you. I'm
muted.
My timer. Sorry, man. I don't want to be short. I want to go next is Lil.
Yeah, I know you're on a phone.
Lil,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can unmute you. You may have to write, if it doesn't let us, you may have to write in kind of your comments.
But we'll
come back to you in a second. Why don't we go to Zach?
Well, we can try it.
Let's see what happens.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. It worked.
You just can't take it.
Hey.
Hey, it
very
worked.
cool.
I didn't know if it was going to work.
All right, it says you're on a phone.
So I am on some things. My audio doesn't work on my laptop, and so I didn't want to risk it not working. So I thought I'd call in
Cool.
to make sure it would work. But I was so excited to hear what was happening with Dwayne. That's so awesome. Anyway, what has been happening with me is I launched a website called Fan Chic, which has got fashions for University of Texas fans, so they're burnt orange and white. And I bought a bunch of stuff from China, and I wanted to try and teach myself to sell online. And then I'm going through my mind of how I can go and sell it on campus, because I'm not able to sell it online. Yet, the whole reason I'm doing it is to sell it online and to learn how to do it. So I need to resist trying to do that. But I'm just trying to get them sold because football season is going to be over with in a month. And so I've been running some Facebook ads. And this is what I've had no sales. I've had about 1,000 views. What I found was that the carousel with the several, images was converting, getting more impressions than just having some pictures. And so I got like 1,000 3-second views on the carousel for 2 cents. And then another one was like, the reach was 2,800, 489 views for 4 cents. So I'm not getting, a whole lot of anything. And I know that I was just watching Shark Tank, and this company that was called Manscapes, they had spent 4 months, running ads, nothing was working. And they finally started using humor, and they ended up making $1 million, but they had lost, 100,000 in making that much. So I know that the revenue doesn't always show what true profit is. So I know that I'm probably going to have to spend more than I want to do this, but I need to learn how to get some sales and how to get them to convert. And so I know that one of my problems has been, one of the things is the shipping is showing up as being very high, and I'm trying to get that, just technical issues fixed. So the next thing that I'm working on is I'm going to launch a funnel and see how that converts. And then tomorrow I'm going to start working on launching the Lil Pockets website. And I don't know how long I've been working on this, but I just figured out finally this morning how to take a good image of that, because all I have up there is just not good stuff for my website. So I don't have a lot of product. I only have about 100. So, but that's my goal, is to get those sold next month.
Well, yeah.
And so that's kind of gives you a snapshot. Also, and Colton is, they just went to the doctor on Monday, and Maddie and Colton are having a baby, and he's breech, and so the baby's going to be born next Thursday. So that's another thing that's happening.
You got a lot going on. Congrats to Colton, and I'm sure you guys will take care of it. But prayers for the baby.
Thank you.
So how can we help you real quick?
Okay, so after I get off the call, I'm going to be speaking to somebody works in Instagram, which I think would also be a good vehicle for me. So the two things that I need help with are how to convert. I mean, right now it's just I'm getting some interest, but no sales. So I don't know what is good expectations on how long it takes for people to see the images and see the ads before anybody, converts. Or
Facebook, or this is Facebook specifically?
This is all on Facebook.
Okay.
I've tried to do some things on Instagram, but the images that I have are showing up as being too small. So I guess I'm going to have to get somebody on Fiverr or something to redo the images, because they're not able to load onto Instagram.
Well, here's one thing. I mean, to tell you that what's working really well for me is taking multiple different images and putting them together as a video, and then running that video. So
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, you are? Cool.
That I saw was better. The carousel, which is what I was,
that's exactly.
The multiple images, it's a video.
Yeah.
And that is better than just having the images. People like that better.
Okay. And then are you using urgency and scarcity in it? Like, hey, only got 100 available, currently in stock, or?
Well, I put limited quantities, and I haven't launched it yet on my, also another thing that I did, I thought what I'll do is change the prices and have it get a 50% off coupon. And then it turns out that there's no coupon. It just changes the price once they check out. And so anyway, I'm figuring that part out, because I thought having something like that might help convert people to buy. So as far as, should I say,
well, let me give you a quick thing.
50% off for the next 10 customers. That's kind of what I was thinking about.
Well, one quick thing I want to share. I've done testing on percentages off, 50, 60,
right.
70. Here's the fascinating thing. 60% off beat 50 and 60 or 70, 60% off. So you might want to go
price your product in a way that 60 fits.
Yeah. That just something on there. So go ahead. But I just wanted to bring that up.
No, that's great. Any other suggestions that you've got like that? That's what I need, is how to get some sales. I'm just,
Could you share
I bought myself to see what it, looked like, and how and it didn't take anything off of it. It took it out at this, full price. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to have to work with Shopify on how to make that work.
Yeah, if you could, Lil, will you share the link or the page so everybody can look at it? I bet there's ideas even outside of Matt and I that group, might help,
It's FAN dash.
Put it in the
Facebook
group,
so everybody sees it, and then they can comment ideas, and you can kind of vet them out and see what you think about them.
I'm not in the Facebook group.
Oh, no, not the second, but after we get, just put them in later and whenever, just so we can look at it.
I'm put it in where? I don't have a link to the Facebook group.
You know what? We'll have Meredith call you, and let's just figure it out offline. We can get it handled.
How are you not? So you're in the group?
No one. I wasn't added.
Hey, well that sucks. We will.
Well, we might be able to add. Matt or I may be able to add you. So
hold on. Yeah, there are some people that weren't. That it's not just. It's all about it. That's exactly because it's a secret group.
It was
All
only
right, we'll
people.
get you
Yeah.
in. We'll get you in. We'll add it in there. So we'll do. Look, we'll just say within 24 hours you will be because I can't promise right now.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. All right. Actually, we just figured it out. We got it. Oh, one of us. We'll figure it out. We'll get you handled. And if anybody's
thank
else is not in there, because I looked at I just looked at the side. I mean, I didn't put it. Brian, I didn't put this together, the Facebook group. So if anybody else is not in the group, please let us know, and we will get you added. It looks like we're missing a couple. Yeah, we're missing a couple people. So we'll get you guys added in. I didn't realize that. Cool.
Awesome. So as far as expectations, what, I mean, I know that it depends on how good the ad is, what the prices are and that kind of thing, but should I expect a month for this to make any difference, or weeks, or, you know, how long do you usually, you know, tweak the, one of the things that I realized was that people that were liking it had Hispanic names. So the next ad, I targeted people that spoke Spanish or that were Hispanic, and I got this, you know, alert that I might be doing something wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say that I wouldn't do that because if you know, there's a lot of Indian like I see a lot of likes from Indians, and if I actually did that, I wouldn't make any money. So, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if that'd be a great idea.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how best to target and what to do to make it work. So I will let you know.
Yeah. So, but there's multiple different things you threw at us, but specifically on the targeting, you're talking about? God, sorry. What product?
Well, right now I'm doing the fan sheet, but the next is going to be my belt, and you know, my best audience is going to come from my own Facebook page. So, I mean, once I have something good to be able to show, then I can post it there and hopefully get some, you know, at least a few things sold. So,
yeah. Well,
I'm just trying to work out the kinks before I put it out there.
Yeah, when you post, if you could let us know your targeting, then we could help you with, we could get you specifics on that. Like, just get us a, we'll add you to the group. When we add you to the group, then specifically what we'll do is Brian just texts Meredith, let her know. She's not here right now but she'll be back in and we'll get you added. And then when you post in there and just tell us, here's a link and here's my targeting right now. How do you think I should do with my targeting? And we can all help you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Matt.
Oh, no problem.
And I'm trying to launch 2 other things. So 4 things is what I'm working on for November to be able to take advantage of, you know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I want to be prepared for that buying frenzy. And
I like
so
it. This is exactly what to do. We'll get you in there, if not tonight, first thing in the morning, and then whatever you can share, I think we can get comments back to you probably pretty fast tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
All right, let's skip down. Who is next? Did anybody else say they can go live? Dave, I think Dave Ferran, you said you could. Let's see. All right, we'll go to Dave. Dave had his hand up.
Yep, Dave, I'm going to drop your hand. I'm going to unmute you. You should be good. Hello.
Can you hear us, Dave?
I can. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. So I'm going to put these 3 links in the chat box just so you can see the 3 topics. So after months of discussion, I've purchased the CEO Institute from the founder. It's a 28-year-old organization, which I was actually a charter member of in 1990. And so I bought that business, and it'll be effective January 1st. So that's going to be, I had some really good chats while I was at our live meeting. I think Jeff Smith probably was the most encouraging to filter and refine and throw stuff out and focus, and that's something I'm passionate about. It fits me to a T. It's right in my wheelhouse. So anyway, I purchased that, and then my main lead gen business that we talked about, I built that brand, to put a brand, and so I'm working on my lead gen business, and I've got 3 customers that I've lined up. I've got a commitment from them to start managing lead gen things for them. So in November, I'll be launching those. I've got paychecks from people to start that, which is good. And then my main give back is Reclaim 611. My daughter and a couple of other nurses for a year have been working on getting their 501c3. We talked about that at lunch the last day when Brian, you, me, and Matt, and so they finally got their official 501c3. So I'm getting ready to work really hard to help them in their fundraising. And so I'll be coming back at you guys to see if we can't put something out in the internet marketing community to get behind the human trafficking things. So that's my big kind of give back project. So everything's kind of moving forward. I'm really super excited about the CEO Institute acquisition. It's designed primarily for Christian business owners and business leaders here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's a physical, come to a monthly meeting. It's like a $750 a month, membership. And so the founder, the guy right there that you see in the picture, Lane Kramer, he's unfortunately got pancreatic cancer and probably going to be with us much longer. So it's kind of a bittersweet situation. But anyway, he's a good friend, and it's horrible, but at least I'll be able to carry on the legacy of this. And so taking out of my internet marketing background, I've got a lot of ideas to leverage that brand and to do something much more on a national scale. There's a couple of big players in the market, C12 and Convene, and a couple of others that do this model with a CEO roundtable, kind of model. And in this case, it's designed primarily for, Christian business owners / Christian business leaders. And so, yeah, I'm hyper busy. Matt, thank you for you worked with me on that really cool lead gen that you had presented at the original live event that led to us joining the MCMM. And I haven't done the Opt Intelligence yet, but I'm definitely going to. I've took your training video, I signed up as you showed me to do, and it worked. And so I'm ready to start launching my first campaigns in there, which I'll be doing my first campaign starting next week.
Oh, nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, but that does mean I've backed out of a lot of things. And so, Brian, I'm going to pull back on the tiny home thing. Sorry about that.
No, stay focused. Yeah, there's no need to be sorry. Hey, on a positive, we had somebody close the first dealership the other day.
Excellent.
I'll put the news out, but rah, and good for them. But no, I love this. And this model, speaking of Jeff Smith, I see a way Jeff could really help you grow this thing using his team.
Yeah, this is an
Jeff's
ideal
LinkedIn team to go target it at CEO level candidates that meet certain criteria. You could do some wonderful things partnering with him.
In that geographical area too.
And geo-targeted, or if you're doing them in city, there's a lot of ways you could obviously slice it. So definitely worth talking about.
So anyway, he had a horrible website that was like 11 years old. So I designed this website, just got this up about a week ago. And the Reclaim 611 website, I just built that in the last 2 or 3 days. So I got that all done. And the 3Q lead gen is just a template right now. I don't have any thing there. So if you guys could help me, my big ask right now, I had a wonderful, wonderful meeting Saturday morning when we were out there with Tim, and he was just a huge amount of help and making some connections. And so the guys that are doing some things, you know, in the fundraising world with the card and the trip thing. So there's some good contacts in our group. I've got some great ideas about how to put all that into the Reclaim 611 project for raising, you know, some pretty serious money for that group. They're ready to go national with this. They've got a lot of big people helping them in the Baylor healthcare system. And so anyway, this is a fantastic cause. It's a hot topic, you know, in the marketplace right now, and it's a good time to really, you know, go for this one in a big way. So I'm on the board of directors and really going to help them with their fundraising.
One thing is on this page, I'd make sure I take PayPal. People donate via PayPal all day long.
Doesn't feel like real money. They tend to give more.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get that up there. PayPal. Reclaim. PayPal. Okay.
Excellent. All right. Well, Dave, thank you. And just in the interest of time, I'm going to mute you.
Yeah, thank you.
Who am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody. We're going to scroll.
Well, if
the
anybody
names.
else wants to go, just raise your hand.
Raise your hand and we'll go live.
If not, it's fine. Like I'm saying, if
Yeah,
not,
I'm not going to make you.
some people don't want to talk, and we get it. So we know we force you to talk at the live ones, but here you guys don't have to. But if you want, some people just enjoy listening what's going on with everybody else.
Yep.
So if you're that's fine. We no holding against anybody. So if you want to just raise your hand, we'll go ahead and pull you in. If not, you know, we could, whatever. So, so we'll give you about, cool. So
Looks like, I think we
got a bunch of
got
people on.
everybody.
Seems
Yep,
like
yep.
almost everybody's on here. And no, I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, just really, it's really good. I mean, it's pretty cool because one of the things is you're starting to see the movement. We will make sure that everybody is added in to, and we do apologize. Everybody did get notification of this. Unfortunately, we were just figured out why, because it's a friend thing, like of adding. So we will get everybody inside the group. We do have a Facebook group we created. We will add you inside the group. Not everybody's in there. We'll get you in there. The next meeting, the next call, actually, let me give you the dates. You guys should have been notified of that. And that call is, well, you should have been notified. So let's see here. It would be, yeah, I think it's November. And what we're trying to do, just so you know, we won't have one in December. And the reason we won't have in December, because we're getting together in December. So, but we'll have one in November. And I don't see it. Oh, here it is. 3, well, that's 2. So it's usually we're going to try for the last week in every month.
It's on your GoToWebinar invite.
Yeah, it's on the
you guys.
GoToWebinar
It lists the
invite. So I'm
sequence
looking at it
out, and
now.
we're going to add more dates to it.
Yeah.
For next year, but right now I know when Matt sent it out, I saw they were all on there.
Yeah. So we got November, and then December we're getting together. We're getting together in person. So on that. So just so you know, we could do that, and then we get back together. So very cool. Awesome. Did we book? We did.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, somebody asked live event details for December so that we can book the hotel.
You did.
I'm pretty sure I signed the contract.
Yeah, you did. You signed.
Okay.
It's
so
all
just,
signed and
it's
booked.
going to be,
We'll
yeah.
have Meredith send an email out.
Well, Meredith send you out. Let me just, don't
booked
hold
like
me to
weeks
this
ago.
until tomorrow. Okay. So everything's going to happen tomorrow. Today is Halloween. So, okay. And she's got kids and everything else. And so all that, but the point is, tomorrow you'll get all the details. We will make sure. I am 98% sure. There's a 2% chance that I did not sign the contract. I'm 90% sure I did. I've been signing a lot of contracts lately. So we should be at the same hotel, same room, same hotel.
7th and 8th of December.
Yeah, 7th and 8th.
It's not Thursday and Friday
Yeah,
that week.
whatever it is, Thursday and Friday. We'll get it all out to you guys, just so you know.
I'm pretty sure I
Cool.
saw it. So yeah, we'll make sure.
Yeah,
in the
but
morning.
tomorrow,
I'll see
just let
Meredith
you know.
by 9 a.m. and I'll make sure by 10 a.m.
Yep.
that you see an email.
Yeah, he'll do that. I won't even be at the office.
Yeah,
until
don't-
11. I'll make sure by 12 o'clock it'll be done. I'll be at the office at 11.
Yeah.
So, all right. So no matter what, he'll do it, or we'll
You'll
checks
have
and
it.
balances.
You'll
It'll be
have it.
happening. All right. You guys are awesome. Go out there and kick ass and take some names and have a happy, that was gonna say
Halloween.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween. You guys are awesome. Take care. And we'll send out the recording later. All right. Good day.
you.